Alright, so I'm still reading on Warfield. One of the problems many conservative theologians have with Warfield is that he seemed to be okay with evolution. Now, Darwin's Origin of Species came out in 1959, and it became, the thing to talk about in Warfield's time, the late 1800s. And I'm in the middle of the section in Fred Zaspel's book, The Theology of B.B. Warfield, that's talking about what Warfield thought of evolution. Now, his predecessor, Charles Hodge, wrote on the theory of evolution, and he called it atheistic or anti-theistic. Hodge saw right through the whole thing. But Zaspel's saying that Warfield sought to clarify that on the face of it, creation and evolution are mutually exclusive concepts. Now, when I read that, I think, well, that's dumb. That Warfield would think, oh, these are two totally separate things. And if you read further, you see what Warfield is trying to make a distinction about is that creation is about something coming into existence, and then evolution is just process of something. Evolution is not about coming into being. And he even says here, Warfield at times expresses frustration that this basic distinction is not recognized. Well, why? Why isn't Warfield's distinction recognized? It's probably because Darwin's book was called The Origin of Species, right? The theory of evolution does try to speak to origins, not just process. I don't even know, right-thinking Christians that have a problem with process or adaptation, right? And if you want to call that evolution or what, I mean, there's a deeper discussion that must be had on, what do we actually mean about evolution, and whatever you believe about evolution or the process of adaptation, is that still something that's not within God's providential working, right? A biblical a biblically minded Christian is going to say God is so providentially over any and all adaptation in creation, right? He declares all, whatsoever comes to pass. He's written history's story from beginning to end, and so whatever happens, God is in control of that, right? That's easy. That's Bible 101. God is the one in control of that. But this thing of being able to separate creation and evolution, and it seems like Warfield was okay with like a theistic evolution where God's created everything. That Warfield is clear on, and then he tries to sort of provide room for the evolutionists or for the Darwinian. But anyway, it just struck me as I'm reading this why, he's frustrated and he seeks this distinction. Well, of course you're going to be frustrated trying to shove a square peg into a round hole, right? Like you're trying to make something happen that isn't there. Darwin was trying to account for origins and then the development of all of the species. His work was literally called The Origin of Species. And even today, if you say, well, I believe in evolution, typically that means you have no real account for how the world came to be, so you come up with the Big Bang Theory or whatever else you imagine, and then you say everything developed over however many years, right? Whether millions or billions or something. Anyway, it just seems Warfield's frustration could have easily been dealt with if he just followed Hodge. This idea is just atheist. It's anti-theist. It's anti God. You don't arrive at a theory of evolution like Darwin unless you turn your eyes away from Scripture. And it's the same problem with the biologos people today, the Christian evolutionists or the theistic evolutionists, and all those different people who are trying to, you know, to give scientific lip service to the godless scientific community. Like they don't care about being faithful to Scripture, so they're going to come to conclusions that are anti-Scripture. That shouldn't be a surprise, and we should just say, yeah, I don't agree with what you're doing. I think Warfield could have saved himself a lot of heartache in his day if he just rejected it like Hodge did. But anyway, I got more reading to do, and maybe I'll make more videos commenting on this. Fred Zaspel's book, if you're looking for a big, massive book on the theology of Warfield, this covers pretty much everything, and you can just pick and choose too, because it's sort of like a systematic theology. Forward by Sinclair Ferguson. It's good as far as content goes. The prose is a little tough at times, but the content's good, and you can tell Zaspel's researched everything that Warfield's written, which is remarkable. So, because it's a lot, Warfield wrote a lot. But anyway, just some thoughts on the whole creation, evolution thing, and what Warfield thought. Let me know if you want me to comment some more. God bless, guys.